Hi, this is Joanne Meyer. This is the fourth video in the series of videos on how to build a giant nutcracker. In this video, I will show you how to create the bearskin headdress, the hat of the nutcracker. To create the hat, you will need several sheets of Bristol paper. The circumference of the hat should be about the same as that of the torso. So you could use a spare piece of construction tube to help you measure the circumference. The important thing is that the hat should rest above the eyebrows. If that is not the case, adjust the length accordingly. You will need to create two strips of Bristol paper. One strip that is the height of the hat and the other that is 1 centimeter or half an inch wider. The length of these strips is the length of the circumference that you have measured, plus an inch to make a tab that you will use to attach the ends together in order to form a tube. The reason I recommend that you use 2 layers of Bristol paper is to ensure the hat is sturdy enough to support the weight of the fake fur. I don't recommend you use the construction tube for your hat because that would make the hat too heavy. You will need to work very quickly when you do the next step because white glue penetrates very quickly in the Bristol paper. As soon as the glue penetrates the paper becomes less flexible and that makes it brittle. Lay the widest strip on your work surface and cover it entirely with thin white glue except for the extra 1 centimeter or half an inch. I myself use rather thick white glue and that made things difficult because my glue dried very quickly. Align one long side of the second strip of paper with the first one. Very quickly make a tube and glue the tab to the other end of the paper strips. I had marked my tab with a notch at both ends to have a reference. Hold in place until the glue is dry. As you can see, the outside layer is 1 centimeter or half an inch taller. The side that has the extra height is the bottom of the hat. Later, we will use this extra strip to glue the hat on the head of the nutcracker. You will need 2 cardboard circles to make the hat sturdy so that it keeps its shape. If you used a piece of construction tube to measure the size of your hat, use that same tube to draw 2 circles on 14-ply cardboard. Then add tabs around both circles. If the size of the tube was not right for your hat, you will find other explanations in the supporting document. Cut the circles with the tabs and score the tabs to make them easier to fold. Then fold the tabs. To make the following steps easier to explain, I will demonstrate them on a smaller head. That way it will be easier to see what I do. Place your tube with a 1 centimeter or half an inch extra strip at the top. Insert one of the tabbed circles in the hat and lower it horizontally all the way to the bottom of the hat. Glue the tabs of the circles to the sides of the hat with white glue. Proceed the same way with the second circle, but glue that one at mid-height of the hat. This second circle serves to reinforce the hat so that it stays straight under the weight of the fur. Now, cut notches all along the extra strip. By cutting notches, you will make tabs. Fold the tabs inward at right angle. These tabs will allow you to glue the hat on the nutcracker's head later. When the glue is dry, paint all around the top edge of the hat. Use the same color of paint as the fur that you are going to use. This little bit of paint is simply there to mask any spots that would not be covered by the fur. Cut a strip of fake fur of the same length as the Bristol paper strips that you cut earlier to make the tube of the hat, but this time without adding an inch for a tab. Take a strip of fur and glue it around the hat. Since hot glue dries rather quickly, apply the glue one section at a time until you have covered the entire hat. Then, cut out a circle of fur of the same size as the top of the hat. Glue the fur on the top of the hat with hot glue. To make this hat, I took my inspiration of the ceremonial guard in London and Ottawa. Under the hat, there is a kind of gold-colored strap that is more decorative than useful. To represent this strap, I used a gold-colored decorative ribbon. I made the strap longer than in the original model so that it doesn't hide the face of the Nutcracker. Glue one end of the colored strap to one side of the hat, between the Bristol paper and the fur, and do the same with the other end of the strap on the opposite side of the hat. Now your hat is ready. Follow me on my YouTube channel and on my website to access my next video, where I will explain how to make the mouth and the mustache of the Nutcracker and how to paint the details of his costume. See you soon!